What's up, guys?
Hello, YouTube.
We are driving to Tucson, Arizona
With a broken car on the trailer.
So I have decided to embrace the Americanism because the German is broken. So we're in our big old pick-em-up truck with an American hat on, driving.
So, okay, here's what happened. It's been a while since we updated because we've been going through some crazy stuff. Last night, finished the car, got everything done, went to go on the test drive to drive it back to Chris's house, started doing some bass tuning. Everything was going just peachy. And we stopped to fill up the overflow reservoir a little bit. And then my jackass got in the driver's seat and pushed the car a little bit. Boost got a little high, right around about 255 kPa. So do the math on that one. I think that's around 20 psi. Anyway, you're not supposed to run 20 psi on a car with no head studs and a stock head gasket. Needless to say, the head gasket proceeded to turn into a laser and exit the engine and spray coolant everywhere. So we're dealing with what we are fairly certain is a blown head gasket. Car does not run. We limped it onto a trailer. You can hear compression coming out of the side of the block. We're hoping that's not because the block or head is cracked and just because I literally blasted the head gasket out of the side. Anyway, long story short, we have a spare engine with a brand new head on it, and we have ARP head studs and several different head gaskets on the way currently to Tucson, Arizona.
All from different places, so if any point of it fails, we have a backup for every single point. And we also found an entire gasket kit, including the head gasket, at the shop for this engine. So we have that in the car.
So anyway, long story short, we're making all of the car show cliches come 100% true, completely on accident. We broke the car last night immediately after we finished it, and now we have to swap an engine in the parking lot, just like every other show or every other episode of Roadkill. Ironic? I don't know. Funny? Probably.
But as I've said before, the car is so good.
It's so good.
I can't describe how good the car is. I've had the luxury of driving lots of vehicles in my life, and this E34 is just something else.
We murdered it. Chris and I think that's the reason we blew it. So we got a little overconfident. We got a little cocky because it was so good. The turbo pulls so hard. It sounds so good. It rides smooth. It handles well. I mean, it is a phenomenal car, and it even looks good now that Chris buffed the crap out of it. So we're hoping to bring it back to life at the track and at least get a pull under our belt. As long as we get one run, we'll be happy. Also, that's the car there. This is the road that I blew the head gasket on too. About 2 miles down the road. Welcome to Tucson Dragway, ladies and gentlemen. We drove through the entire night, and now we have our car. Now we're at the drag strip, about to either swap an engine or change the head gasket on this one, depending on what the bottom end of this motor looks like. I don't think the bottom end is damaged, but there's a small chance because when it happened, there was a loud boom and I tried to roll start it and it locked the rear tires. So we're hoping that I didn't bend rods via hydro lock. If we did, that entire engine's gonna have to go in. So right now what we're about to do is pull the head off, pull the turbo off, and see what we're dealing with. Hopefully nothing too bad, just a head gasket. Regardless, we have an MLS head gasket and ARP studs that were overnighted to Tucson last night. So they should be here this afternoon. So hopefully by the end of the day, this car will be running and ready to make some passes. We can finish tuning it. So yeah, let's do it.
All right, guys, so we ripped everything off. Here's a moment of truth to see how messed up this engine actually is.
Hopefully the box okay. But all the bolts are off the head and I think we got everything off, so moment of truth.
Don't be alarmed if there's tons of water in it, because there's going to be tons of water in it.
Oh, okay. Yep. Look at the head gasket. Sent it. It's toast. Just, yes. I want to find the piece now.
Yeah, right.
The piece ain't even on it. I launched it. No, that's what I'm telling you. You could hear compression coming out of
the box. There's some of it right there on the starter.
Yep. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh no, I thought that was a piece.
It's like it's got like some duct tape. We can put that together.
Is he? All right, this one's going on the wall of shame. We gotta hang this one up. I've never blown a head gasket that well.
Like a laser.
Put one of Davy's tampons.
Turned it into a projectile. Next question. I hate to keep asking you guys for tools, but any remote chance you might have a straight edge we could check that head with to see if I warped it?
That one.
Do we have a pry bar?
I don't know anything like that.
I don't know what kind of pry bar you
have.
We could probably buy one in town.
There's a
pry bar goes like this. Yep, head's warped.
I actually have one that's straight.
Do you have
Because it's a
can
Matco.
you use the leg on your
We might be able to.
Yeah.
We got to go buy some parts anyway, so we may just pick up a straight edge. Let me see this thing. I want to hang this up on my wall. I want to frame this.
It's an Instagram pic,
That is a
man.
good one.
I see the break down there at the bottom.
Oh, I just cut that.
Dude, I mean, look at this thing.
Good, man. Throw a gasket on it.
Yeah.
You can see where the compression was pushing the gasket out.
So that other,
See
the
how
number
it's
5
warped right
cylinder
there?
was pushed open.
Yep. So we lost 4 and 5. And
At least.
At least.
I'm sure it lifted it slightly too.
I probably
That's what happened.
screwed those head bolts up too.
Luckily, you had 4 left.
Roll that joker.
Yeah, we
so
should've
none
just
of
run
goes
it.
down in the motor.
Yeah, I'm
Compression
sure
on the
those
cylinders.
tolerances are pretty shitty, and I'm sure it's full of water already.
So what do we need? A
Don't let
lot
it
of
roll.
carb cleaner, some oil, some coolant, maybe some
Straight
Brillo
edge.
pads or something.
Straight edge.
Straight edge.
You don't have that dingle ball thing, do you?
No, not that small.
No, dude, I can still see the cross hatching on the cylinders. We're fine on that.
Okay.
We got a little piston slap, but other than that, we're all right.
Turbo will make that up.
That's right.
It's the way to bleed a little boost.
Not reapply your sidewalk chalk.
Messed me up. My valve hanging open right now over here.
This looks like a broken timing chain tensioner. Too late. Too late
How
now.
broke?
We're sending it.
I was gonna say how broke. You have to ask
Not
yourself
broken
how
enough.
broke.
Not broken
Exactly.
enough. Broken enough to still keep tension on it.
Yeah, you're still good.
We're all right, man. It was taut. I'm not worried about it. Although I am a little concerned as to where the piece went.
So, how is it?
But if the engine didn't eat itself by now, I think we're okay.
Yeah.
It's probably been broken for years.
Joker jumps out of hope.
There's a straight edge right there.
Not long enough.
Oh, awesome.
Looks
like
like
fun.
most of our screwdrivers. Might work. I mean, we can run it like that.
Yeah.
right? Hey, Chris, you want to flip that head? Let's do a ghetto check real quick.
Good, man. I think it just lifted.
You're like, that's spec. Ah, man, we're going to have to take the
Too
cam in.
tall.
I say we just send it, dude. I think we're all right.
some Scotch Brite on
I mean, whatever.
We have ARP studs and MLS gaskets, so that'll make up for whatever.
Got some copper coat on it.
Yep.
And whatever torque spec is for the ARPs, just bump that by 50 or so, and we'll be fine.
Get a little bit of stretch out of it.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right. Okay, so now we got to find out if the parts are here or when they'll get here.
Do you
And
want
until then, I guess we get to drink beer. Okay, welcome back, YouTube, to this disaster and also success of an event. And I've been sitting here in front of the entrance to the Tucson Dragway for, I don't know, since about 5 a.m. this morning, but took the head off, put the head back on, I got everything back assembled. The only thing we're waiting on now is the head studs. As soon as the head studs are here, this engine ought to be running in, I mean, really a matter of minutes, to be honest with you. I got everything else attached. Just the turbo drain needs to go back on, intercooler intercooler piping needs to go on, and then we just need oil and fluids, and we're good to go. So I think this is crisis averted. I guess at this point it's just cross your fingers and pray to the car gods that there's no knock coming from the bottom end from me hydro locking the motor after blowing the head gasket. Catastrophic. Okay, so it's been a super long day, but as you can see, the engine is completely back together. Turbo is on. My nose is running snot because it's cold outside. Oil is in, and we haven't touched the key yet, so this is unfiltered. So if it starts knocking, you're going to see the depression in my soul. Cross your fingers, hope for no bent rods, and all running perfectly. Yeah. here we
Cool,
go.
let's do it.
Nothing touching anything? We good? Good enough.
Fuel pump fuse.
Fuel pump fuse. So, try number 2. See if we get fuel pressure. Got fuel pressure?
It's not all the way up, but we got fuel.
Okay. So, Now you will actually see the depression in my soul. This car does not run. So here we go. Pray for no rod knocks to the car gods.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
So, do we even attempt to save this motor? Do we put Lucas in it? Try to cushion it? Or do we just send it and see what happens to the rods? What's that?
All the coolant.
What do you mean?
Clean it out itself. All the cylinders, clean it up. Firing, like the turbo, everything. You just smell the burnt coolant. Not a bad thing, just cleaning itself.
Let's check the oil. Let's go through all of our checks. It's not, ignore anything here. That was very rod knocky though.
That was all rod knock.
I worked so fucking hard on this car, dude. But that's okay. You know why? Because what time is it?
Dinner time.
I think it's beer time. Let's start it one more time.
Maybe it'll just straighten itself out.
That's a
It's
very
still
common
pretty.
thing to
The
happen.
oil is still very contaminated. I think we need to run it for a little bit and flush it.
Worth it?
I mean, I don't know. Is $40 worth finding out if this thing can be sent at full speed tomorrow? It's not even $40. It's $20.
Oh, you think the rod knock will go away if we have better oil in it?
This is not. I mean, it's not helping. I don't think the rod knock's going to go away, but eliminate all possibilities. I don't know. Were we low?
Yeah, look low.
Yeah. It needs a couple more quarts. You know what I think about that, Chris?
What?
Tits on a donkey. That's what I think about that.
It's a pretty bummer, you guys.
That fucking sucks. We're not swapping an engine, right? I think we should just put like, it's up to you obviously, but I think what we should do is run it and then go to Walmart tomorrow and get one of those like gallon buckets of Lucas, fill it with half Lucas and half oil, and just send it.
We can't fuck up anything else, right?
No, I mean, it's only ARPs. The rest of this engine, who gives a fuck about? Well, we're not going to fuck the turbo up as long as we don't send contaminated oil through it at high speeds. So I think if we drain the oil and put a bunch of Lucas in it, I mean, we can't really mess anything up, right? I mean, stock rotating assembly, stock engine, stock head, stock everything. We'll be all right. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do some decision making and beer pounding, and we'll get back to you. Well, and we spent, how long did we spend building it?
A week.
But solid, like we didn't sleep. Like we
Right.
stayed up till like 7 a.m. building this thing.
We took it from like 120 horsepower to like a little over 500.
So let me ask you this: did you sleep last night?
Not really.
Okay,
like
so you
2
sleep
hours.
tonight, get here early.
Well, we're sleeping like right there.
Okay, so you sleep now, you get here, you get up early, and then do it, and then one awesome Hail Mary, glory pass at the end of the day. Well, what's going to make you happy? That's all I care about. I mean, what's going to be the most fun for you? Don't worry about me. If you decide to swap it, sleep tonight and start early. Don't do it tonight.
100%.
I agree with that.
Yeah, enjoy the bonfire.
Okay, so we're in Tucson, Arizona. It's 11:30 at night. Debauchery has taken place. Bad decisions have been made. Rods are bent. Head gaskets were blown. Heads were replaced. However, our absolute stubbornness and refusal to fail is taking over.
Let me interject for a second. Not our refusal to fail, because we still might fail, but
Still
our
might fail.
refusal to leave options on the table.
Correct.
Determination.
Our determination to succeed or fail to leave options on the table, let's say, has prevailed, and we have decided to use the spare engine that is currently in the back of our truck to replace the one that yours truly accidentally hydro-locked on the test drive. So, update, as you may have seen, this is me admitting, I destroyed the motor. I hydro-locked it on the test drive, blew the head gasket, tried to clutch dump it to get it going again, which resulted in hydro-locking and bending rods 4 and 5. As a result, it knocks severely, sounds like a diesel, but luckily we have another M30 in the back of the truck ready to go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wake up early tomorrow, we're going to pull the old engine out, and we are going to install the new engine with the brand new head. Reluctantly. If it works, no regrets will be left on the road, or in unburnt tires, or missed opportunities, what have you. So this is what we're gonna do. Engine's coming out, new one's going in, and in all honesty, like Chris said, you guys didn't hear, but he told me it's gonna be easier than swapping the head gasket, which is 100% accurate.
It is.
There's less hardware involved. The mechanics are a little heavier, but it's overall going to be easier and
We
quicker.
don't have to be careful. We can just be quick and get it done.
Yeah, so it's probably going to take us a conservative 4 hours to do it. So if we wake up at 6,
We're not waking up at 6. If we're on the track
gonna
by
go all
4,
day.
I'm excited.
the weather predictions are good. It's going to be 70 degrees tomorrow. And as a result, we feel like we have time to do this. And
if we don't,
on a personal level, Chris, I didn't tell you this, but I called my buddy and he said his basis on judgment was, if you leave a situation, leave it knowing that you're not going to regret not doing something.
literally exactly what I was gonna say. I was like, if
So,
we don't do this,
If we don't do this, we're going to regret it, and we're going to bitch out.
and we're not,
We might as well.
and we're
This
not
is our
bailing
one
on this
shot.
car, so we have to do this at some point.
It's going to be done at some point. We may as well do it in the parking lot in legendary fashion, literally right next to the start line at the drag strip. I mean, it's 100 yards to our left. You can't see it, but if you see those lights, those flashing lights, that's the start line to the drag race. So
Also,
that's what we're going to be doing.
we're setting up a giant tent on top of our trailer to sleep tonight. So we're gonna live like kings for a few hours until we become
In a-
slave labor again.
in
to
a
the
tent
BMW.
trailer. This BMW is the Great Pyramids of Giza, and we are the slaves. We are the slaves.
All right, guys. So we're still here, Tucson Dragway, Roadkill Ziptie Drags. Last night we came up with the idea of swapping the engine. It wasn't super feasible because of the different engine management, the harnesses. We have to swap too much to make it work. So then we came up with swap rods. So we did everything we could, swap the rods, and it's just not going to happen for this trip.
Yeah, we did a bunch of research, and apparently the engine we've got is from an E28, which is not quite the same as what's in this car. The pan is different, the pickup's different, the head is different, the intake is different. So feasibly we could take everything out, swap it over, but at that point, it would be working. We'd be here working and not able to have fun. So we decided to be reasonable and call it quits. We put enough work into this car over the last 2 weeks. Slept virtually not at all. So from here on out, it's going to be drinking beer and having fun. But on a positive note, look at these fresh shirts. Oh yeah, yeah. Modeling. Look at that. Excellent. So these are samples of the shirts we'll be giving out via Patreon or selling, or maybe if we just see you on the street and you're cool.
We're gonna empty everything out of the truck. We're gonna run the truck down the track at least twice. Once by me, once by Will, and we'll see what it can run.
And I need to pray to God that I don't bend the rods in this one too. Hey ho! See you, Mr. Capri! Do not do the things that we do. Do not try the things that we do. Do not binge drink. It's not good for your health. Do not smoke. Don't drive fast. Don't wreck cars. Don't do burnouts. Wear your ear protection. Don't do burnouts inside. Really just don't do anything that we do. Live vicariously through us and let us die early so you can live longer. Cool.